everyone. Have you ever wondered where electricity comes from or where electricity originated from? If so, the topic of electricity might interest you. Or maybe perhaps you've considered a career in the electrical field. Or maybe even you just wanted to do a small electrical repair around the house. If so, then stay tuned. Today I'm going to go over some of these topics. As well as a bonus, I'm going to show you how to install a regular light switch. So where did electricity come from exactly? It's actually hard to pinpoint the exact historical origin of electricity, though there has been some evidence of its use dated as far back as ancient Egypt. But as far as we know in modern history, efforts to understand, capture, and tame electricity began somewhere around the 18th century, where electricity could be replicated in its natural form, but producing electricity for widespread use didn't happen until the late 19th century, where many of the electrical contributions that we know and use today took place. Some of these contributions include the telephone by Alexander Graham Bell, the first copper wire replacing the iron wire by Thomas Doolittle, production of the first tungsten light bulb by Thomas Edison, rotating magnetic fields by Nikola Tesla, and of course, you have George Westinghouse, who famously produced his first pen at the age of 19, and also went on to expand onto Nikola Tesla's rotational magnetic fields, also known as alternating current, to give us what is known today as widespread electrical power transmission. We'll go over some common electrical tools that you may need for the switch install and just in general. First up, we have the National Electrical Codebook for 2020. It pertains to electrical installations and the hazards that may arise, fire hazards and such. Very good book to have. Many jurisdictions have adopted it. If you plan on doing electrical installations to any capacity, definitely need this book. Next, you got line and pliers used for cutting and twisting wires. You have dikes, also known as diagonal cutters, used for cutting wires. You have strippers, also known as wire strippers, used for crimping, cutting, taking insulation off of wires. You have a screwdriver. Definitely need a flathead and a Phillips tip. And last but not least, you just need some way to measure the presence of electricity. You have a meter and a tick tracer. You can find any of these tools at any home improvement store or even online. Okay, step one, find your panel box, find a circuit, and turn it off. Step two, get you some safety glasses and put them on. Next step, get your flathead screwdriver, take off the faceplate. Next, get your Phillips head screwdriver and remove the switch from the box. Next step is to verify that there is no power at the switch location. There's a couple tools you can use to do this. There's this, it's a tracer, it's a voltage tracer. This one's pretty simple. You can find these pretty much at any hardware store. You turn this one on, it's going to beep a couple times. You just put it up to the wire, and if it doesn't beep, then you know that it's off. You just want to kind of poke around in there with this, make sure nothing's on. The second way is with a meter. You can find this most places too. It's just a voltage meter. It's probably going to have other functions, but all you need for this is to verify that there's no voltage. Step is to verify what kind of switch you're working with. So this particular switch here is a single pole switch, and that's what we're demonstrating today. I'll post a little picture to show you kind of how the circuitry works for this type of switch. But basically it's just going to have two wires coming in. Go ahead and get your flathead screwdriver. There's going to be two terminals on the side. You're going to loosen them up. So now you're going to take your new switch. Got two terminals and your ground. At this point you should have three wires. Two wires that you took off the old switch and your ground wire. If you don't have a ground wire, that's okay. Some older homes don't, but if you do have it available in the box, you definitely want to use it. That goes here on this green screw. You just hook it on just like that. Tighten it down.
You just want to make sure it's on there nice and tight. You're going to flip your switch around, and you're going to start on the next 2 wires. Just give it a little wiggle test, make sure it's all in there good, make sure nothing's loose. Then you're going to position your switch so you can get it in the box. You want to make sure your switch says off when it's in a down position. If it says no, that means it's the wrong way. Make sure it's nice and tight. Make sure it's straight vertically. Then you'll be ready to put on your cover. This requires a flathead. Position it over the switch. And the bottom. You don't have to go super hard on these. They're not meant to be really cranked down on. And that's how you install a switch.